die that I'm a need. Your body broken out of me. Your blood was shed for my righteousness, and now I walk in victory. Oh, and now I walk in victory. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was born to be. I was born to reign in Christ. I am not defeated, no matter what I see. I will always be. Whatever comes my way, I will always be. Yeah, 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 yeah.
A blessed good afternoon to each and everyone, and welcome to the Gigi Show. My name is Gigi George, also known as Gigi. I want to welcome those who are logged in with us here in the US, the Caribbean, and around the world. Of course, guys, you know we always bring it on to you. And this afternoon, I would like to introduce my panel who's sitting in with me. I have my co-host who's sitting in for Idris this afternoon, and my co-host. All right, so I want to welcome each and everyone once again. I want to encourage you to share the live. Go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and also to our Facebook page. Share this live with someone, share this information, and let's get started. So before we get into that, I want to wish each and everyone that's celebrating a birthday today, you're celebrating an anniversary, whatever it is you're celebrating, we want to celebrate with you. And may God continue to richly bless you. Without further ado, I would like to introduce my panel. And first, I'm going to go to Miss Kendra McKee. Miss Kendra, welcome to the Gigi Show. Thanks for joining.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Gigi Show. As you know, today is another wonderful weekend. Saturday, we're all here for the Gigi Show. And I would like to ask you to share the live, subscribe, share, follow us, and keep on sharing and keep on following us. We're going to have juicy topics for you. I'd like to say happy birthday to those who are celebrating birthdays this weekend. We know this is Easter weekend, but if you're celebrating birthdays this weekend, anniversaries, retirement, happy birthday, happy retirement, whatever the milestone is. For those who've lost loved ones, condolences to you. And I'd like to say a special happy birthday to my pastor who celebrated her birthday yesterday, Pastor Major Marielle Saint Lot. Sometimes people say Saint Lo, but it's spelled like Saint Lot. So her pronunciation for it is Saint Lo because they're Haitian. Special birthday greetings for her. And the topic this afternoon is juicy. So keep locked in.
All right. Thank you, Kendra. I would like to introduce Miss Leslie Bob Sample. Leslie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Gigi. Thank you. Good afternoon. Hi, Kendra. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Easter weekend. I hope you guys are locked in today because today we're talking about when do you introduce your significant other or your partner, your boyfriend or your girlfriend to the family. I know some people go too early, some go too late, some don't at all. So let's hear it. Comment in the comment section. Thank you for joining us, and it's amazing and a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, Leslie, once again. And I want to introduce also Mr. Philip Drayton. Mr. Drayton.
Hey, good afternoon. It's just always a pleasure to be a part of this panel every Saturday. I know it's a touchy and really interesting topic, so I'm just happy to be a part of, man.
Thank you so much, Mr. Drayton. And of course, guys, we do have, as of course, he's not any stranger to us. Pastor Apostle Harper will be joining in this conversation. So let me give you the topic, our topic today: how soon it is to introduce your significant other to the family. Listen, this is going to be an interesting topic. Grab your spouse, grab your girlfriend, grab your boyfriend, bring them, your fiance, whatever, your husband, bring them into the room and let's have this conversation today. All right, so I'm going to ask Ms. Kendra to break down the topic a bit for us as we delve into our conversation. Go right ahead.
So, definitely what we need to make clear what we're looking at. We're not saying that if you meet somebody today and you went out on a date, you take them home tomorrow. We're talking about serious relationship. If you're in courtship, which is when you're dating with each other, you're going on dates, you're getting to know each other, which should last about 3 to 6 years, or some people say sometimes 6 to 2 years, 6 months to 2 years. Um, to each his own. It may differ from person to person and couple. But the thing is, if you're going to get serious with this person or you intend to get serious with this person, when do you think is a suitable time to introduce the person? Is it the beginning of the courtship, middle of the courtship, end of the courtship? What is your opinion? We have ours, but what is your opinion?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miss Kendra. Listen, I just love the fact that we have this kind of conversation, and we're going to be hearing from each and every one of the panel this afternoon what you guys have and what's your take on this topic. But in the meanwhile, we're going to be going to a very short ad break, and then we'll be right back. Listen, we're giving y'all time to come in. We're giving y'all time to come to the front of the class, man. We got to do this thing. And in the meanwhile, you're doing that. In the meanwhile, you're coming to the front of the class, invite someone into this conversation, share the live, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and follow the page, the Gigi Show page. Yeah, I can't miss this. And if you continue to do that, trust me, we ain't gonna miss not one of our sessions. So let's get it on. In the meanwhile, stay tuned. We're gonna go to a very short ad break and we'll be right back.
Life doesn't always go as planned. There was a time when everything felt lost. No home, no direction, no certainty about tomorrow. But even in the middle of the storm, purpose was being born. This is more than a story. It is a journey of rising after the fall. From homelessness to hope. From struggle to strength. Purpose in the storm. A story of faith, courage, and rising again. Get inspired, get strengthened, get your copy today.
Otis Guard Roots Tonic. The Roots Tonic is a combination of roots and herbs in one bottle. This tonic speaks volumes and is enjoyed by both males and females. Males often share how it supports their sexual vitality. Founder, Winston T. Jacobs. Contact information, call or text, +1 917 2259 451. Email, rasgad@gmail.com.
All right, guys. So listen, let's get into this conversation now. Listen, how many of you guys are ready for this? Ladies, are you ready? I know it's only the three of us along with Drayton. I know the other gentlemen are going to be joining us. And of course, let me let you know that Idris is out today along with Mr. Jacobs is out. He is under the weather. So they're not going to be on the show today. So guys, accept our apologies. All right. Let's get into this conversation. I am looking for DJ Quinn also. I want to hear from the men today because, men have a different take on what it is all about. And I know, of course, with us ladies here, it's 3 against 2. So, we got to bring it on today. We want to hear what they got to say. And first, I want to go to Leslie. Leslie, I want to hear what you have to say on the thing. How do you view that? How do you view the fact that how soon is too soon to take your significant other to the family? Because that's very important. When it comes to the family, certain things are off limits. And it takes a certain amount of time for us to do that. So I want to hear what's your take. In the meanwhile, let's continue. Kendra, come up with your answer. Let's roll with this topic this afternoon. Listen.
All right. So thankfully if I have somebody come into my life now, I don't have to worry because I don't really have a lot of people going around me, except for you guys and my son. So for me personally, I don't have to worry about that because I really don't feel that you should introduce anybody too quickly. Because when it comes to me, Pitney, you can't get introduced to my son like that because my son already have 2 fathers. And if you think I have another one, you got on a boat and a plane and all these things. It's a lot of things involved. It's a lot of things involved if you're gonna come to be a part of my son's life. You must know that you're rich and got enough money and so. But you know what I noticed, Gigi? Lately, a lot of people are hooking up and getting married in a month and 2 months and that kind of stuff. We are not in the era where people you gotta go and get introduced. You have to come home and ask if is it possible for me to take Leslie out on a date? I will bring her back at 11 o'clock and that kind of stuff. No, we not anymore. People are getting married in 2 months and so on, and it's a big whole family affair, everybody. Because you know what? Life is too short. You love who you love. You know when you're connected to somebody, and people don't really worry with family and them thing for the happiness and all them things. The Bible says when a man find a woman, he find a good thing. Is that what it says, Kendra? When a man findeth a wife, he find a good thing. There you go. So now we ain't really worrying these days about what mommy think and what daddy think. They don't live the life. They don't do what they have to do. Now it's me turn. We're not I don't even know what to call that, in a space where people are asking home and dating, and first you go get some ice cream, then we start asking questions, then we move to dinner, then we start asking questions, then we go on a drink and we have drinks. No, people hooking up in club and moving in 2 days later. Okay. People are moving in quick. And sometimes it's not good. It's not good for the children. It's confusing especially if there's children involved. It's confusing for the children because I might meet you today and we have a good thing going on. Another 2 months down the road, it didn't work out. Now you out me life, me child gotta readjust. So we have to be careful with that part. We gotta be careful who we introduce, especially if there's children involved. The adults, they can get over it. I know they want to last. They got some people like that. You introduce this man. Oh, I met this guy. He's so nice. He took me out. He bought me flowers and so on. And then the family, they're not last. Man don't last with them things for long. And you have the negative Nancy's. So people stop telling the families. Stop introducing them to the families. For me, listen, if you hook up right now, you can need a minute before you actually get to meet like the family. I need to see where it's going. People are rushing into things too much and getting their heart broken. That's why we have so many depressed people around and people sad and upset because they think that that's the one. Then boom, 2 months later, the one gone. Now you got to start all over again. So I say, be careful. Be careful who you introduce and bring to your family. Don't bring them around too early. You get to know them first before you bring them around your grandmother and your auntie, especially if they got them grandmother and auntie who ain't got no filter on the mouth. And they tell you, he, for come here. What kind of hairstyle is though? Oh, he smells so. Eh, We's live, who's the mother? We come, you know what I'm saying? So get to know your partner before you introduce them. I don't think people should introduce them too early. That's just my take.
Thank you so much, Leslie. And this is one of the things I want to say. People don't take time to get to know the partner before indeed they bring it for, and they don't courting anymore. It's like bam, slam, bam, let's go. The world
That's
is
the word I was
moving.
looking for. Courting. They
Yes,
don't court
courting.
anymore.
People don't do that anymore. It's like because I think because we're in a fast-paced, moving world, everything got done fast. Even if it lasts for a month or 2 months or 3, at the end of the day, I've tried it and it didn't. But I think in order for you to have lasting, let's use the word lasting impression or lasting something that's lasting goes for a very a long way. You get married, you courting, and you get married. You get to understand the person a little bit more, and I think also more so children. But Kendra, I want to go to Drayton a little, and then I coming back to you because the men that always see things different to how we see it. So I heard from Leslie as a female. I want to hear from the male. I want to hear what Drayton has to say on this part. And as I said earlier on, you got to learn to court and take your time in whatever you're doing because everybody feels like I gotta move fast because I might lose this man. No, take your time. And it's gonna go very far. You get to understand the person, especially as Leslie said, Ayuk is special to her because that's her baby. And you don't want to bring somebody into that child's life and then eventually it's abrupt. So let me digress to now, and then I'm gonna ask Drayton to join into this conversation and tell me what's your take. Then Kendra, I'm gonna go to you.
Bring who by where? Nobody coming home by me. Straight as it is. Laugh how much you want. Come home by me for what? Where you want come by me for? Eh? You left anything by me? Eh? Where you coming by me for corrupt the whole scene? You trying to come for corrupt everything? Where you coming by me for? Eh? Why are you forcing yourself to see me, mother? Eh? Why are you forcing yourself to see me, family? Eh? Hmm? These are just simple things you would hear from time to time in society. It's very interesting because it's so common. A lot of persons, would simply just shun it. But you're absolutely right. I am not for bringing somebody around too early, and for many reasons. A lot of persons, based on the experiences and what people would tell me, a lot of them, the situations, the primary ones is just the kids. You don't bring persons too close to your kids, and if something goes wrong, you have to wait. But when would you consider knowing to be factual between you and your spouse? When would you say, hey, he is past this particular threshold and he's entered the realm of, I know this person to a T. Now it is time to bring him home to see mommy and daddy. How do you do that? How do you set such a boundary? You understand me? I think it is never ending, but individuals have their own priorities. And I think if people think about relationships consciously, they will find many reasons why bringing a partner too soon is catastrophic. And as a man, the first thing I would do, and I mean as a conscious man, not the ones them that want run in and out and. But trust me, there are some men out there would bring 4, 5, 6 person to mommy in 1 month. And mommy seeing everyone and saying, yeah. Mommy's a part of it too, Don't get tied up with this thing. But I ain't reached the realm yet, right? But I'm saying as a man, as a conscious man, first thing I gotta do is to recognize if me and this woman are really emotionally ready. We on the same page. Honestly, I ain't talking about you talking to me lovey-dovey and them. I not look. Are we on the same page? Are we really serious about this thing? Are we seeing long term? Or is it just a little vibes right now that me you kicking? And in 2 weeks, if everything go cool, calm and collective, we die out and we go with separate ways. Is it that? Or are we really serious? Because if I bring you home to me family, I can tell you straight, What I doing is creating early pressure and maybe false expectations. And that's just factual. So I really got to know exactly what is really happening. I have to have some level of clarity on the relationship that I share with you. Is this thing exclusive? Are your intentions, does it align? These type of conscious questions that anybody who are part of a relationship should ask. This is not brainstorming. This is not rocket science. This is basic introspection about the relationship. And I believe everybody should look at that. Now we're looking at time. Is it too soon? When is too soon? Or when is the right time? And these type of things. But trust me, if I bring you home by me too early and I really don't quote unquote know you, trust me, my family could get attached because my family trusts me. Is I bringing you? My family trusts me. So my family could get attached and then boom, a breakup happen. What going on? Full breakup drama, right? So timing's got to be is extremely important. And if I bring you too late, if by chance me walk this earth together, and then at the last moment I looking for bring you into my family for introduce, my family would feel blindsided, and even disrespected because how you could just bring a girl in 2 weeks and telling me about marriage. You feel me? So timing is extremely important, but you have to look at it from a level of equilibrium, a level of balance. Because too fast, it's in looking nice, and if you come too late, it's still in looking nice. So I gotta look at it, but most importantly, as a man, I gotta look at me family dynamics. I gotta look at me old man and me old lady. I gotta recognize and understand if me family there's a supportive family, if they're judgmental, cause I got some family like that. Some people scared for go by the people in house, other again invite how much time, GG, and them ain't go in. You know why? Soon as they walk in, the family ready for terror your brother. You hear what I telling you? Like if you're in real court when you walk in certain people place. So all these things are just simple things that I think people should look at, and they would see that, and they would make their own conscious decision of when is the right time to move this pawn on this chessboard, if I put it that way. And that is my contribution for now.
Thank you. Those are words of wisdom. Thank you, Mr. Drayton. And absolutely, I do agree with him because a lot of time people would bring that person home, and in 2 weeks you see the start fading out. What happened here? What happened going on? I ain't seen Charles come in, or I ain't seen Janet's coming no more. What happened? So we've got to be very careful, and especially when it comes to our children. I'm going to keep stressing on that because children live what they learn. So in that way, we've got to be very careful in the way we go around this thing. We can't go around this thing funny, according to Drayton. You go around this thing funny. But anyway, Kendra, now I want you to delve into this conversation. And I'm gonna throw out a question to something. But before we go to Kendra, quickly, I want to say that we're celebrating every week. We'll be celebrating one person on the show. And our top fan for today is no other than Onika Grant. Onika Grant, I want to applaud you for always supporting the GP show. You are being celebrated as our top fan for today on the GG show. So once again, congratulations. And let me remind you the topic for today is how soon it is, or too soon, to introduce your significant other to the family. I just saw Laurie come in, and the one here was Laurie take also on this, because I know Laurie always got a little thing to throw in the pot. So we're gonna want to hear from Laurie. So right away, I'm gonna go to Kendra. Kendra, I hear you take on this girl because I know you're a straight up teacher. I want to hear what you got to say.
Listen, my take on this topic, it got a lot. I got a lot of angles. First, I want to say, to each his own. And for me, it would be based on the person and their relationship. Because what 3 months might be soon for you, but then a year might be too long for me. You understand? So it definitely based on the age. Because I feel like if young people courting, they don't have to court in 2-3 years before they introduce. I feel the younger you are, if you are serious in a relationship, it is important to take your significant other, because you don't want this week you bring Tom, next month or next week you bring Harry, the next week you bring Joseph, and so on. So for me, it kind of puts you in a realm of where you ensure you're limiting yourself. You don't turn up, at least on the female side. You don't want to turn up with one now, and then next thing you know, you got to turn up with another one next three months or next three weeks or so on. So for me, age is a very significant factor. The next thing I think is the maturity of your relationship. You got to know, because let me tell you, there got some men, some old dog, like talk like the old time talk. Some old dog out there who want this so long and very chief 2 years. He there in there because he want this woman. He really want the woman, But he want the woman. But he really want take for make wife. And he hold out and he might do it and say, hey, I gonna do it a little year or so. You thinking a year is a good time. And you decide now to take him to your family. And then soon you done introduce it to the family. Me by say, hey, I don't get what I want. I gone. So it plagues women, the perception of security, that they want to ensure that if they think that if they meet this man parent, or if they meet this man mother or so on, you ain't gonna get rid of me. You know, you mightn't get rid of me because mommy know about Susie, mommy know about Keisha, mommy know about Abby. You understand? But we also gotta look at when you have children involved. I have children. And I do not want you come into my life, pop in and pop out. When you come into my life, I let you know point there blank. Listen, I got 2 children, I got 3 children. They come with me in my relationship. Are you willing to accept me with my children? Because sometimes we're not also upfront. And we need to be upfront in the relationship, because the man might have all the parameters we want, but then he don't want your children, or he's not accepting of your children. And that's a big factor. So if I introducing you, we definitely got to be on the same page. Certain things I got to know, and you got to know about me, and I got to know about you. I'm not walking you into my family just like that. And then another point I want to go to is sometimes with these times, we got to be very careful, you know, and I ain't able to make cousin make a dozen, as the old time saying used to say. I want to know who's my cousin, because it does have medical parameters behind it. I learned that later on in having children, when, you know, when you're pregnant and you have to go through these tests. And there was a test there, and you know, I was concerned that, you know, why am I not doing that test? And I asked my doctor, and he said, no, that's a test that we give to parents, expectant mothers and their spouse, to find out if there is the same chromosomal genes involved, because there is a 1%, 1-2% chance, but there is a percent chance. And so forth. Don't quote me on the exact number. But there is a chance that if you are with a family member, let's say maybe second cousin or so on, from the father's side where blood lineage is the thing, you can actually make a child who may have disabilities because of the fact that you are with a relative. So that is very important. And then also, if your mommy is Spice Girl, our mommy was a regular girl in she days, and then, you know, daughter now decides she gonna settle down, but daughter looking at older folks. She's always attracted to men of the older age range. And she gets somebody now, when she decide she gonna come with the person 4 months down the line, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, and decide to bring this man, and the man was mommy old time thing. There's a very ticklish situation, because now this girl thinking this would have been she love it, she like that she got married and thing and so, but mommy done, you know, tap there already. So you know, this is a very touchy topic, because for me, I don't feel there is a particular age for every single body. I believe it based on the relationship. I believe it based on your maturity of your relationship, and what your goals are, what your what you set, what your parameters are before. Look, I want to, okay, you're gonna meet my children now, you're gonna meet my family now, you're gonna get to come to family events and these kinds of things, because it's very ticklish on both sides of the coin. So that's my little take for the first half. Gigi, you're muted.
Oh shoot. It accidentally went back. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Yes, as I said, I was saying, I love it. I love it. I am noticing a few comments in the chat. I see you just loud and proud. You're just loud and proud with us this afternoon. You know, she always got to make sure that she gave her takes. So Idris, you know, we would love to hear from you. What's your take on this topic also? And as I said, I really want to hear from the men. The men is things differently than us women. You know, there's a thing that I wanted to say something earlier, but I'll bring it a little later on in the conversation. But I want to go back again to Les. Les, and I want you to flow with me this afternoon. Tell me now, as a mother, and of course I know you have, as you said, you have Ayuk, and you're very, very, very careful when it comes to Ayuk and the people that you bring around. So how long you think, let's take for instance, you got this nice young man that you met, and you will say, you know what, I think it's time for me to, how long you think you would take before you can bring him around Ayuk? Because I know that's the number one guy in your life. You know, Ayuk is very, very important to you. And of course, your children, it's off limits. Let me make this clear. Children are off limits to a lot of things. We as mothers, and I find a lot of mothers these days, we women, some of the decisions that we make when it comes to our children, it could be daring. So we as mothers have to be very, very careful on the decisions of the people that you bring around. Sometimes a man may move from all the way across town. You don't know nothing about this man, but he's good looking, he's handsome, you know, carry himself nice, and you know, think that, okay, he's decent. He may be working at a job that is respectable, but you don't know nothing much about this guy. All right. Now, in a situation like that, Leslie, how would you look at it? What's your take on that?
All right. Before I go into exactly what I want to say, I was reading, I noticed Idris was saying that one thing she don't do is bring people around her kids too early.
Actually, sorry, I lost that thread. Oh. I was going to come to that comment. Thank you so much, Leslie.
You're welcome, hon. She don't bring people to her home to introduce her children too early. I'm right there with you, Idris. I am right there with you. Let me tell you, I got my son in 2013. His father and I didn't work out. Our relationship ended when I was like 4 months pregnant, and we became friends after I got the baby. The two of us, you know, we developed this friendship, a really good friendship, because I feel like God placed him in my life just to give me my son, and that was it. Because, you know, not everybody's for you. Not everybody and you know, will last forever. Some of us are fortunate to be in a relationship for 30, 40, 50 years. God bless all of you, honestly, you know. But my son, father, and I, we become friends over time. And then while I was pregnant, my husband and I started talking. And this is a man that I know since when I was 20, 21 or something. I met him 20 odd years before that. And he messaged me, you know, we started talking, and then he said, you don't think it's time to give me a chance? You're running from me all these years, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I knew him, I know his family very well, because, you know, since before I met him, I used to be around his family. So I knew what he was capable, what he was about. I knew his family. I knew everything about him. which I will explain later why, I kind of blame myself. But he and I decided we're going to do this. He lived in the US. We had a long distance relationship. He met my son when he came to Guyana. My son was 8 months old. And we started talking before then. And when he came, he met my son, and I gave my son to him. And the first thing my son did was put his head down on him like this. Right away, I took a picture of it. Like, he just lay his head down on him. And that was it. That was it for me. And the two of them developed this relationship. He's the first.
It was a wrap from there. It was a wrap, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He said Dada first. He called him Daddy. He used to pray every night. He used to have to hear from his father before he sleep, and they developed this relationship. Really good. Mind you, he has a person who gave me his sperm to get him, his donor, his father, his other dad. Right? And at that time, he didn't have that good relationship with his father, the man that gave his sperm so that I can have it. But he had this good relationship with my husband. So things didn't work out with me and my husband. We separated 2 years ago. A lot of people don't know that. They know that now. Fast forward to now. Ain't nobody gonna meet my son. I'm not bringing anyone around my son. Like I said before, he has two fathers, because now he has a good relationship. Now he's getting older. Him and his dad, but my husband and my son, I don't even talk to that man as much as my son does. I'm telling you, they always, I love you, son. I miss you, son. I miss you, daddy. On the phone. I ain't bringing no other man around my child. Because in school, and that's another thing. In school, he told that one person, he got two dads, and that became a problem, because the thought when his friends start hearing that he got two dads, they're thinking, oh, your father's gay, and then a whole situation. Because in America, when you have two dads, people thinking, oh, if you have two moms, the way how he said it, he said, I have two dads. So now he's thinking that he father they're living with, that kind of foolishness. So now is a whole explanation he had to give his friends. The reason why I have two dads, because I had a first dad that my mom and him made me, and then my mom got married, and that's my other dad. And I call both of them my dads. Now I don't want my son to have to explain a third dad. So I'm not, apart from the fact that I want to protect him physically, because I don't know who's who, I want to protect him mentally. He already had two dads. He identified with the two of them. If anybody else comes into my life right now, they're not going to meet my son like that. If they meet my son as, this is my friend. This is my friend. He's not going to be coming and sleeping in my house. He ain't waking up in the middle of the night and my son seeing he walking past in the boxer shorts going to the bathroom. I'm not putting him through that. You understand? And we have to protect our children. We have so many bad things, so many predators out there. Not just our daughters. I see here Ramo saying, protect your daughters. We have to protect our sons too, because they have men out there who are actually looking at your sons the wrong way. And you ask your son cute body. He's a handsome little boy. He is handsome. So meanwhile, bring too much people around my son. Next thing you know, God forbid. You understand me? So I am at a place as a mother of a 13-year-old who already have two dads. I am not giving him a third father. I'm not giving him a third dad. When he in college and he big, because I ain't gonna get a boyfriend when he got to college, because I ain't gonna live in my life like a cat lady by myself for the rest of my life. But we have time. I'm not that old. I want to give my son that. We have to stop being selfish. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be with someone, but you don't always have to be with every someone, if you understand what I mean. You don't have to be in a relationship. As soon as you come out of one relationship, you jump in a relationship, you come out of that relationship. You're the problem. Check yourself. You don't need to be passing around like that. Spend some time with yourself. Love yourself, and you're going to know exactly who you need for you. Think about these children. So, yes, some of us run into relationships too early and run to bring them to our kids. And then, like I said before, you're gone before the child could catch yourself. I would not be doing anything like that to my son. I would introduce you as my friend if I go somewhere and my son see you. Or if you give me a ride somewhere. Oh, that's my friend. That's it. Not this my boyfriend. He can come and spend 2 days with me. No, we're not doing that. You get your own house. I can come and sleep by you. Let me son stay in space. Like Idris said, her home is her sacred space for her children. You have to let these children feel that this is theirs. They're happy here. They're safe. And for you to keep them safe, you got to keep people out. Okay, so that's just my take on that. A little later, I have something else I want to add, but I'll save that for later.
Thank you so much, Miss Bob Sample. Guys, listen. You know, she's always bringing some juiciness to the Gigi show. And she's authentic when it comes to that. So I must say a big thank you to you, Leslie. But I'm going to be bringing in my guest in less than a minute. But I want to point out a comment from Pastor Nilufer Chase. I can't let this go. Before there is any family introduction, the couple should be clear about their future intentions. Are you committed to growing a family together? Is this just about momentary? Momentary. One second. Let me get it. Guy. Are you committed to growing a family together? Is this about a momentary pleasure? Do you want to create a family bond? Create a family bond when there is uncertainty. Sorry, about the future together. These are all questions that should be asked. As such, once there is clarity about the future, probably meant to say, it becomes necessary for each person to engage their families before there is any introduction. Absolutely, absolutely. I have to agree, and I would love for Mr. Drayton to highlight that comment to me, please. And we are going to delve into that a little bit more, but we are going to be bringing in our guest, even though he's not no stranger to us. We're bringing in Apostle Harper. Apostle, welcome to the Gigi Show. And also we'll be having DJ Quinn joining us also. Guys, come on into the room as we get into this conversation. All right, I would like for to Dre to just highlight that comment for me, please, from Pastor Chase. And here comes our one and only.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, DJ Quinn. Are you hearing me? I think you have to unmute.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you
DJ
hearing
Quinn,
me?
are you? Okay, good. All right, so we're going to go to Apostle. In the meanwhile, DJ Quinn is getting himself together because we're not hearing. I don't know if he's frozen or what, but I want to say good afternoon to Apostle. Are you hearing me, DJ Quinn? All right, well, we're not hearing you. You may probably have to leave and come back in, but we're going to go to Apostle in the meanwhile. Apostle, welcome to the show.
Grace and peace. Thanks so much for the gift of access, everybody. Bless up.
Thank you so much. Listen, we of course, you know, we're getting into we're chopping it up today. And Apostle, I really want to hear what you have to say in terms of this topic that we're discussing. How soon you think it's too soon to bring home your partner, to your significant partner, to the family? Tell us.
So I will first say that I believe that not every connection is ready to be shared. When we look at scriptures, there was a guy by the name of Nicodemus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the story where we get except someone be born again, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God. Sometimes there are relationships that are good, but they're complicated. And when we bring relationships to our children, to our family, we have to understand that it's not just you exposing them, but you are making them, you're inviting them to a world. And you have to respect if they are ready to handle that world you're exposing them to. I said to someone the other day, even now I am married, and there are friendships that I have that I don't introduce my wife to. I'm not even talking about I'm talking about friendships that I don't introduce my wife to, because sometimes there are friendships that I don't think that she's ready to handle the complications of that friendship. Like, for example, there are people that I'm coaching now who are still dealing with personal issues in terms of their social ways, how they behave. And to introduce them to my family in the space might be challenging. So I say, before we say how soon, think of, can your family handle this? And one of the things that I believe, and I learn with this, is how stable is that relationship for them to handle? How stable it is. This is very critical for me. At 43, I'm beginning to learn some things. I'm getting a little smarter. Do you know sometimes you can be unfair to someone by not asking their permission to introduce them to situations, and then become annoyed that they are not operating like you think they should? What if your son is not ready for another daddy? It is his right to not want another father. I like my dark face daddy. I don't want another guy. I don't want to see another guy hold you. But behave yourself, get your, listen, but get yourself. Ah. And so I will land by saying, respect the right of the persons, the space, your children, your family, to understand that this is not an introduction. This is you bringing them into a world, and things can get real messy if they are not prepared to deal with what is necessary for them to operate ethically, function in that world. Um, and it's real. And I land there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to go to DJ Quinn. DJ Quinn, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome privilege.
Hmm.
You hear?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
This is deep
This
conversation.
is deep conversation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're taking me
So
way
what's your
back
take on
when.
that?
You're taking me
I
way back
know,
when.
because I was listen to this before you go forward. I was waiting patiently because I know you're the guy out there. Was not anymore.
When I was,
But I wanted to
I
hear what you had to say, because I know was off. Yes. Let's give
I'm
you the
telling you,
opportunity to hear when you was off.
a couple of things
That's
I
what she
didn't.
talking about, man. Yeah, that's what she talking about.
I guess when I was a younger man, if you know what I mean. When I had my full head of hair, those kind of things. Yeah, when I was 26 years old, that's when I started tinning in the middle. And so I used to take my acquaintances to Berbice, where my mom lived. And who tell me do that? One time I took one girl and one met her in tongue and gave her a gift. And when I took another girl to mama to introduce her to mama, she said, "Oh, you was the girl who gave me that gift? Mommy, please be quiet. Just shake a hand, shake a hand, shake a hand." Right? But that's one instance. But I mean, seriously though, seriously, um, we have to really think about when we're introducing our loved ones to our parents or our big brothers and big sisters, because we forget those things, our godparents, our auntie. Just make sure that, you know, it should strengthen the relationship with you and the person, and not force it into a stage it has not reached naturally. And I heard Apostle talked about that. Don't force it into, well, this person got to pull himself up to that to meet that standard. When you didn't allow that person to meet that standard to meet your family, you know your family don't like girls with wigs or with eyelashes and with lipstick and with tight jeans. Don't take her there when she's wearing one, right? Be mindful. I mean, groom her or groom him. You know, he might like wear ankle breezers. You know, he might not like to cut his beard often, right? You got to pay attention to those things, and not just because you go to a family reunion, that means you have to make an introduction. So I'm going to touch on a lot of them while you guys give me the microphone, because I see it a lot of times. People look for these family reunions and say, oh, I got something to tell you all. This is my new better half. This is my new girl. Hey, you don't take the people microphone and try to do all that, and you didn't even alert the woman that you're gonna do that, right? And you know you got a drunken uncle and tell the girl, oh, she's a hoochie mama. You put her up for that because you didn't consider that you have her in the wrong environment for that kind of introduction. And that is not going to add value to your relationship. It's going to make her say, oh, you know, this is what you bring me into. This is the kind of family you have. You know, she's not going to want to get again with that kind of family. So I'm just saying there's quite a few things that we shouldn't do. So don't take several people to mommy and daddy, right? Don't take them where you know, like Apostle said, or Pastor Neil Chase said, when you're not certain that you're going forward with this relationship. Now, some people would do that so that auntie or godparents can help them decide if this person meet the standard, you know? Sometimes we use that for that reason. Look, I'm gonna take this girl to my family, and I'm gonna leave her with them, and they can give me the assessment card later on, so I can be able to make an educated or a family conscious decision. So some people do all those kind of things, but I'm just saying, for me, I had the experiences when I took one person and I wasn't, not like I wasn't sure, but I was trying. And Mama made a mistake and say, oh, she's the one who gave me that gift. Mama, please be quiet. Just shake a hand, and move on. And don't take a person when you know it's not going to add value to your relationship and it hasn't meet that stage naturally yet. Take time to know her. Take time to know you. Take time to know if you're serious before you introduce that person to your family members. Good to see all of you guys in this month of April, and as you celebrate this Easter season. Nice to see you all. Happy Easter to you all.
Thank you so much, DJ. And listen, I love to hear my men folks when they really chop it up nice. Yeah, you know, but we're gonna go to a short ad break. But before we go to that ad break, I want to highlight a comment, from Mr. Jacobs. So he's saying, before my child brings someone to me, I'm having a serious conversation to know if they are ready for a relationship. It's not a joke thing. Communication is very important. Let's go to a quick ad break and we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned.
Life doesn't always go as planned. There was a time when everything felt lost. No home, no direction, no certainty about tomorrow. But even in the middle of the storm, purpose was being born. This is more than a story. It is a journey of rising after the fall. From homelessness to hope. From struggle to strength. Purpose in the storm. A story of faith, courage, and rising again. Get inspired, get strengthened, get your copy today.
Otis Guard Roots Tonic. The Roots Tonic is a combination of roots and herbs in one bottle. This tonic speaks volumes and is enjoyed by both males and females. Males often share how it supports their sexual vitality. Founder, Winston T. Jacobs. Contact information, call or text, +1 917 225 9451. Email, rasgad@gmail.com.
Right. Welcome back to our second half of the Gigi Show. We're now cruising into our second half. Of course, guys, listen, our topic again, let me remind you for those who have just joined us, our topic today is how soon is too soon to introduce your significant other to the family. Listen, I want to hear from you guys now. No, I'm going to go to the comments, and I want you guys to put that comment, put your comment, for those who have not commented as yet. Tell me how you think, how soon it is too soon. And I'm going to pull that comment, and I'm going to read your comment, and we're going to expound on it. So for anyone that puts that comment there, let me hear how soon you think it's too soon for you to introduce your significant other to the family. And once again, I want to go back to Kendra, and then I'm going to go to Miss Leslie Bob Semple. And I want, of course, we're going to mix it up to then hear from the ladies and from the men, and let's juggle through. Kendra, who did I say? Leslie.
You said
Kendra.
Kendra.
Kendra, you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Anyway, go right ahead, Kendra. Then we're going to come to Miss Leslie, and we're going to cruise through.
So I can't remember if anybody said it or touched it, but I said I'm going to touch it because, you know, as a granny girl, and I know about the things from back in the granny days. And so I was privileged to be given a lot of wisdom from my grandparents. And my grandfather actually told me, you know, sometimes we would sit and have conversations and these kinds of things in the blackout night. You know, you got to find things to occupy your time. And so grandfather would tell me certain things. And he said to me, he said, you know, when we were younger in the olden days, you didn't just go and you know, you see this girl and you just gone and ask you for go on a date and you and she gone out and these kind of things. My grandfather said they used to got to write home to this girl parents and ask to take her out on a date. And in that ask out letter, you know, you would lay out some of your intentions. Very, you know, not a whole long soliloquy, but you're making sure that the most important things are stated there. And when he told me about that and so forth, I said, you know, in a way, it was a good thing. We might say now that it might not work in our setting, but in a way, it was a good thing because we have so many scammers around coming into relationship to just weasel the way in and scam you and take your stuff. And for me, I feel like if you ask home, people are already aware who you are. Somebody around might know something, see something, talk something. And so you get to know the real and true background, because sometimes it's not, you might know a man for 2-3 years and you didn't know that he got a different identity, he got a different name. You know, this world is so big, you live in some other country, some other state, and so forth. So it is very important as well in introducing that person more sooner to me than later. I mean, yes, you want to ensure that the relationship is at the right point. You don't want to meet him today and introduce him tomorrow. But when I'm thinking about it, you know, we are plagued with so many things in our society now, and to ensure we are protecting ourselves and protecting our heart, making sure that our decision that we're making, it's a right decision. Because, you know, the got some rackle man out there, yeah? Tongue sweet bad. Like the drink sour sap juice when they're done with you. DJ Queen, you're looking up? Yes, when you see the done. When the done tell you the story.
Somebody's got sewer, huh? They got sewer.
What? Swear for this.
I love it. That is so true, Kendra.
Swear for this. Girl, like sweep the shadow off the road for you. Look. I would swim across the empty ocean. When they're done with you, you feel so smitten. You don't see nothing no more. This time is your little bank account you want to get in. And we should we should open a joint bank account. And you thinking, yes, because this man love me and these kind of things. We have to protect ourselves from these things. So it's not even also about just meeting someone and you get in a relationship with someone. You got to know who you're getting into relationship with. I would rather for you tell me, girl, I got a little felony when I was young. I used to want to make it, and I want me money real quick, and thing, and I got a little record and thing, and so don't like have to find out later down, and then it got come back to haunt us, and it got to come back to plague my life, because you bringing the whole drama into me life now. You understand? So sometimes it's good to know early. You understand? Somebody might know you from back in the day because you try to swear them. From somebody in your family, you swear the meeting around the line. And they're going to say, hey, yes, somebody, and so forth. And so, but the other side of the coin.
They call them kind of people couture.
Oh, Jesus.
Couture.
Well, here, I rather the couture tell me what's going on. You understand? Like, I make my decision. You understand?
Queen Alex, me, I carry a little piece of cheese from the shop and I smell like candy with cheese.
No.
I shoplift, get a little chalk from a guy in a store. So, some coming class, they had chalk and I go and shoplift chalk and them kind of, I can't do with she. Hear what she telling there? It means any man in the planet or that ever make a mistake in life can't roll with she,
You know your story. I said already, you tell me up front. And let me know. You understand? Because remember, stigma does come with these things too. Next thing I turn up to me workplace and Susie don't like me already. And then Susie spot me with you and say, you know the one was she's it. She never the one his ex can with. At the whole workplace got me in a shambles. You understand? So it's a lot. It's not even just about introducing to family now. Because it's like
I was just about to say that
it's a whole community.
About to say that. It's not only about your personal family, it's an entire community. You pull it out. Yeah, that is true.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you got to know what is listen to me. I don't have a problem. Profession is profession. How you achieve your dollar might be the way you achieve your dollar. I meet some parents who just go to the ends of the earth for the children, and I respect that. You understand? But not every job people does respect as a proper job. And some people like to label and lament and ridicule. And let's say you take this girl, you see she's nice and thing and so on. But back in the day when she the one got to college, she could make it. And so she didn't have enough money. So my girl used to go and she do she little fancy exotic dancing and so. And some cousin now along the line, they went to the exotic place and they see she. So now you come with she and thing and say, I know she.
Poor chap, he didn't even get a girl a $10 when you see she doing the thing. He didn't even put a $10 in the right places. And he go run the girl name down. You see, so some people.
You understand? So it's a very, very ticklish situation. Very ticklish situation. But Gigi, I see Bello put a comment here.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to that in a shower. But before we go to Bello, I just want to remind you guys that we are streaming on Praise 592, Praise 592 Radio, sorry. And on Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Sorry, from 4 to 6 p.m. Sorry, let me get it correct. From 4 to 6 p.m. we'll be on Caribbean Power Jam Radio. Y'all know that's the old stomping ground. And, we have to make sure that we get ourselves situated and streamed on Caribbean Power Jam Radio. So, guys, listen out for us on Caribbean Power Jam Radio. And we're also on 592 Praise Radio. All right? And we are live on 592 Praise Radio. So, we want to go to this comment also. But in the meanwhile, we go into that comment. I think I want to open the phone line. Because sometimes reading the comments, seeing them in the chat, seeing it in the chat, it works, yes, but we want to hear from you. And if there's anyone that wants to call in, we can open the phone line. We're gonna ask our master control if we can do such. So indicate to us if we should open that phone line or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
But
yeah,
in the
Gigi, because
meanwhile,
I want to hear from those Christians because I didn't hear Apostle say it. Are you praying before you introduce? Did you talk to the Lord before you take that person to the family? I mean, sometimes we gotta really wait for that small voice, for it to say to us, "Yeah, this is a good time. This is a good time.
yes,
Let her wear that red dress and some red lipstick and red fingernail tips and then red shoes and take her then. Sometimes we got to listen to the voice. So I want to hear from those Christians if they prayed. Because some people, when you go to them for a relationship, they say, well, let me pray on it. Let me pray on it. You want to go to the movie? Okay, let me pray on it. So I'm hoping that they're praying on it before they introduce to the family members. Yeah, let's hear from the Christians.
yes, I agree with you, DJ Quinn. Absolutely. Let's hear from those believers out there. But let's go to this quick comment from Bello. Bello said, honestly, I don't think there's a fixed timeline for introducing your partner to your family. It's not about how long you've been together, but it's about how serious and stable the relationship is. Listen, Bello, let me say this quickly about Bello. He is only 22. And this young man shoots and he spits some nuggets. And its comments are always profound and on point. So, Bello, of course, we are going to expound on that and, as we get deeper into the conversation. And once again, let me remind you, our top fan and our celebrated person for today on the Gigi Show is no other than Miss Onika Grant. Guys, let us celebrate her. She is our top fan and our celebrated person on the Gigi Show for this week.
Congratulations.
All
Way to go, way to go, Nico. Way to go. That's what's up,
Yes, y'all,
Monica.
please shoot some hearts to her. And so let's celebrate her and congratulate her because she has not missed not one episode of the Gigi Show. All right, so today is our top fan. Yes, top fan. Congratulations to Miss Onika Grant. I am waiting word from my controller, master control, if we should open the phone line or if we should continue. All right, I want to go to Leslie and then I'm going to go to Apostle.
All right, so there's my thing about I want to add in a little thing about long distance relationships. Long distance relationships, when do we introduce our family to long distance relationships? A lot of people introduce their families to their significant others, you want to call it, boyfriend, girlfriend, guy that you're seeing, that is living in another country and that kind of stuff. And when you two finally get together, it's not roses and petals. For example, my husband and I, we lived separately for 2 years, 3 years. And then I moved to the US. And we had to learn each other everything. We had to learn everything about each other. Everything that we thought we knew about each other went right out the window when we started living under the same roof. Because now when you get to living under the same roof, then you realize that this person is snore too hard. This person is take off your pants and drop it on the ground. This person, you don't like to wash wares during the night before wash wares next morning. And the other person hates wares in the sink. I don't like wares in the sink overnight and that kind of stuff. Now you gotta learn this person and you don't introduce them to the family. Now you gotta figure out who this person is because you don't know them. Oh, this is my guy. Oh, you live in the foreign. Da, 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 da. Well, like I said, I don't really have anybody to introduce anybody to because it was just basically me, my brother, my son. Me, my brother, my son. My mom died years ago. My father died years ago. My father, I don't know. So we had to learn each other. So for me to have to introduce him to anybody, I couldn't do that because I didn't even know him. That's another thing. We get into long distance relationships and then we include the children. And then now we have to learn this person. We have to know who this person is. We have to learn all their do's and don'ts and the qualms, the ins and outs and all that. And it become a problem. And then the relationship doesn't last because now you don't want to have to do this, but you have a child involved. Another thing I want to talk about, we have to spend time with ourselves before we could bring people into our lives. Get to know who you are, know what you stand for. As soon as people come out of relationship, they run into the next relationship. It's called a rebound. You're not really into that person. You just want to fulfill a hole. And having bedroom activities is not a reason, because I know we were on praise worship. I don't want to use certain words. Having bedroom activities is not a reason to stay in a relationship. Then don't call it a relationship. Don't introduce that person to your family if you know that all you want is from this person is bedroom relationship. Because then now you don't introduce them to your mother, and you decide that you want to have 4 different bedroom relationships, like Cleveland, DJ Quinn. Then you introduce it to the mother, and then the mothers acting like this is the first time the son bringing home a girl. Me son gonna get yourself together, because I like talk. Me never lie. I've been in a relationship where I show up at his house and you're so nice. I was finally get the chance to meet my son's girlfriend. I's not the first person going there. We have to stop doing that, because we're playing with a lot of people's emotions. I know of a woman didn't have any girl children. She had 2 boys, and she met this girl, fell in love with this girl, and she thought that this boy and this girl gonna last, but he didn't like the girl like that. But he wanted to have bedroom activities with this girl, so he decided to introduce her to the mother, because she, some of we, I meet the mother. The mother like me, so we in. I in. No, he just doing that because if I meet the mother, it means that he like me back, so I can just give myself to him. And we have to stop doing that. We have to know our partners. You have to know when it's only about bedroom activities and when it's about feelings and emotions and care and respect. That's a big one. Let me tell you something. A lot of people have financial issues. I know life is hard right now, so a lot of people have financial issues. Don't go into a relationship with somebody, introduce them to the family just because they're keeping you up $20,000 when they week. Come, go get your own $20,000. Because if you only with somebody for whatever they can give you, money or finances or whatever, they don't have no respect for you, because they could do you whatever they like. They can do whatever they want and throw a fart. That's not you. Instead of the 20,000 that your custom getting every week. And you become a nobody. Stop doing that. Know your worth. Know your worth. Kendra created a foundation called Know Your Worth. You have to know your worth so that you don't just rush into every relationship every man that smiles at you ain't like you like that. Bedroom activities is what he be seeing when he look at you. So be careful with that. All right? Protect yourselves.
Yeah.
You're muted, Gigi.
Protect yourself, Leslie.
Protect yourself. Protect your peace. Protect your
Yeah.
children.
And know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Don't play Abner Babner Lady Sneeze with
It's
relationship.
lady sneeze. Exactly.
Ocean potion, sugar and tea.
Yes.
Make the right choice, man. Look at them. We men, we have to look at our ladies for 4 seasons, like how you all are looking at us. Because we behave differently in the summertime and in the wintertime. Sometimes we like to see women covered, and then sometimes we don't like to see them covered. So sometimes men will behave differently from in the wintertime. And so we have to look at ourselves, understand ourselves first of all, which season we like the most. And if our girls, our significant other that we decided to choose, if we can deal with them for all 4 seasons. Before we make that introduction, did we mention that? Because I came in late and I didn't hear everything that you guys were talking. I don't want to.
No, we didn't.
I don't want to duplicate anybody's.
No, we didn't. Our winter season is cuffing season and summer season is hunting season.
So if you know that your significant other gonna wear nice kilted skirts, I mean she wear a tight under there, but the family don't care. I mean, it might be old-fashioned family. They don't know that people wear tights under these short skirts. So the first thing they look at the lady's legs and say, "Oh, she's a hoochie mama." She's not. She's a doctor. You don't even know that. But it's summertime, right? And so first impression matters. But then we going back around to the circle as to we didn't have that conversation. Now we could have conversation with two family members when they have two other family members who old school, old fashioned, and they judging this young lady. When we have two is upbeat and know what's the style, what's the color, and what's the wear now. And then there it is. Now you can't have a discussion with every family member because they're not choosing for you unless you want them to choose your partner for you. So you might have a conversation with a big brother, a big uncle, daddy, mommy, or god brother, and there's it now. The rest of folks here for this family reunion, you making this introduction and they're judging this lady. Don't know who she is because she got on her long, nice Brazilian hair. You think she don't have a real hair. All kind of judgment we have instead of getting to know the person, get into a corner and have a good conversation. So the question is,
True.
how soon should we introduce? I mean, when you think that this person have some amount of value that you think you can work with,
Mm-hmm.
smiles good, she have empathy, she love the Lord, she prays, look like she could add some value to me. Why not? It could be third day, 5 days. Some folks will say take time to know her. You can know
Yes.
a person sometimes in 5 days, depending on the crisis you put her into.
Yes.
You don't have to
The
wait 6 months,
situation.
90 days, and all that. You can put a person in a crisis situation, and you can know, oh man, I like how she handled this. This is the kind of person I want to deal with for the rest of my life because I like how she handled this. I like how she handled this person with empathy. You walking down the street with a person and she reach out to help somebody. That's empathy. That's kindness. And that is one of the things you're looking for, one of the values, one of the characteristics you're looking for. You don't have to see everything about a woman. I mean, all right, you got to give yourself time to go into the bedroom, but some things you can see at face value. She
Mm-hmm.
smells good, she smell good, she look good, she's intelligent, she's kind. How much more you want to look for?
Yeah.
So
You're right, Cleveland. Somebody did say that to me. I did handle a situation very well, and he said, you know what? He's somebody I could spend the rest of my life with. But I didn't feel the same way about him. I was grateful for the compliment, but I didn't feel the same way about him. But that's what you want to do. You want to leave that lasting impression. That wasn't
Yeah.
bad at all.
So I'm gonna take over as the co-host because our host is MIA. So we have our friend Mr. Winston Jacobs in the background. So I'm gonna ask him to come forward and say something to us, introduce himself, and say something to us this evening about this wonderful topic.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. How y'all doing today?
Good
Hey, hey,
afternoon.
hey.
Good afternoon, brother.
I love you all. I'm happy to be here. Listen, what a great topic. How soon? Is there a time limit? Okay. I grew up in an era where there had to be something formal. I remember sitting in the background and listen my oldest sister when her boyfriend came to ask what they call it, ask home, right, Kendra?
Yes,
Yeah.
at home.
And well, we weren't allowed to sit in the living room because that's mommy and daddy and him and big sister. But we could have sit down in the corner and we eavesdropping. But everything went smooth and everything. You would accept it. And then the guy came back the next night. And my dad is big. My dad is big. Big like Quinn, DJ Quinn, you got my dad's size. So my dad came in from work and he was sitting on the step because at that time we only had one step. We not back step, no front. We not them kind of luxury. We grew up in, like I said the other day, with water lamp and no electricity. So he was sitting at the bottom of the step. Yeah, my sister, my dad came in. Hi, good afternoon, and pass. And my dad come to the door around 7:30, 8 o'clock and say, Mr. McCoy, I want to sleep. And that man stand up by the door and he couldn't even get a goodbye kiss or anything. He had to leave. I think it was close to 8 o'clock. And when she came upstairs, my dad was to her, but in the future, when he comes home, if she's sitting out there with the guy, please remember that as he go upstairs, it's like time for that guy leave. So that's how he set up his stuff. Okay, fast forward to my time. Well, many of you people know me. Well, the panel now know Otis, but a lot of people back then know who was Otis Gad. We didn't have
Old dog like we.
Zamba, 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 zim, zam, zam. But we didn't have those luxury
Kendra.
of going and Axum. We didn't have this Axum vibe, we was just doing our thing. But my second child, I was caught in a web where I visiting, but I visit at nights. She's pregnant and I didn't even talk to the family. So she tricked me to come in. I'm sitting downstairs and the grandfather came down the back step and you couldn't see the step coming down. And all I see is this guy walk up and say, Mr. Jacobs, oh you the Otis. And I had to go upstairs, man. And that's how I had a conversation. But it's a serious topic. And like I said in the comment section, if my son or daughter they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and they told me about it, I am having a conversation because I want to know if you is ready for a relationship. And before I get to know the young lady or the young man who you're supposed to be dating, you got to get that talk. I got to know if you're capable. Because I ain't able take me little 5 cents and got to help you buy Pampers. I could do it on my own, but don't left no burden for me where I got to do everything for you. You got to be financially stable. You got to be physically, emotionally, mentally prepared to deal with a relationship. And I would say in my time, I wish if I had someone to say, well, explain certain things to me, but grow up on the streets. We take the streets early because daddy wasn't around. And we had to do like go with the flow and roll with the punches, Kendra. That's what we call it. Go with the flow and roll with the punches. And in our time, everything we see, we need to listen. We want to hit HIT. So that was our motive. I thank God I survived. And now it's not a good time to be dealing with that hit and run thing or try to hit everything. Because the big man, if you're thinking about HIT, you got to start thinking about HIV. So that's my little take on this.
So much, Mr. Jacobs. So, guys, listen, we're going to be opening the phone line in a minute. The number is 516-601-8510. You can be able to call and make your point. Listen, as I said, this is an interesting topic. And for those who have just joined us, how soon it is, too soon, to invite or introduce your significant other to the family. All right, this is our discussion for today. So once again, the number is 516-601-8510. It's on the screen. Make that call. Let's hear what you have to say. Put your comments. Listen, put that comment. Let's go. Listen, guys, I want to go back to Kendra. She wants to make a point quickly, and then I'm going to go back to Apostle.
So we've been talking all the time about the introduction and, the timing and all of that. But there's another part of it that is very important. Who are we introducing to? That is very important. So if you're going to talk about introducing a significant other, at a certain point in the relationship, I don't think you need to meet my auntie so early. Auntie's way down the line. You understand me? I think when we're talking about introduction, if you have children, that is one fact. That is one important aspect to consider. And that immediate parents is another important aspect. I really and truly feel if you're going to be introducing a significant other, it shouldn't be at the family cookout for the first time. Where you're going to see in 20,000, I'm just throwing out a big number like if it's that. But, we talking about hundreds and hundreds of people if it's a big, big family cookout. Why you want to be introducing her there? Putting your partner on the spot, maybe not comfortable. You got to ease this thing in. Take your time. Maybe talk to mommy and daddy first. If you have children, look at how maybe when we introduce to mommy and daddy, how it work when mommy and daddy, what mommy and daddy think and how things move in and so on. And then if you're going to introduce the children as well. Because when it comes to children, it's a very, very, very sticky situation. I feel that children learn what they live. And even if mommy made a mistake with daddy and they separated and so on. Whoever mommy is bringing back into their life, mommy need to make sure she scream properly. Mommy need to make sure that this person coming to stay, because you don't want that type of impression on your girl children and even your male children. You want proper male role models. You don't want them to see this one coming in, the one going out, this one coming in, the one going out. You understand me? So it is very important who you're introducing to. Not
Friends
only the
first.
time, not only the time, but also who you are introducing to.
But
Not your
Kendra,
friend first.
Kendra, you just mentioned that mommy supposed to know if the she's supposed to let the child know, or mommy supposed to know if the individual is gonna stay. Now, my question is, how would mommy know if that individual is gonna stay?
No, I didn't say if the individual is going to stay. I'm saying, I said, who is she supposed to be introducing to? I feel like if you're going to be introducing your partner for the first time, you shouldn't be introducing your partner to the extended family, fifth cousin, fourth
Parents,
cousin, third
Exactly.
great aunt.
generation, going down the line, all these things. It should be private, stick to the parents or whoever is the close guardian in your life and deal with them first. If you have children, children next. And you know the reason why I said children next? Because sometimes your parents, because they have experience and wisdom, they see what you don't see. They can point out things that you do not see. Or while sometimes they might point out things that might be old fashioned too. But it's
Mhm.
also testing your understanding of your relationship, because if you can't defend your relationship, then it's not worth it.
Mhm.
So
You
when
know,
they point out things to you, it brings to light certain things that you need to be looking for. So that when you decide now, okay, I introduce them now to my children, it will be a good introduction, because you can well and describe and ensure that you're explaining who this person really is to mommy, who this person really is going to be in our family.
you
That's
know,
just my little two cents.
Kendra, that's some good bullets right there. My son normally include me in his conversations with his significant others, I would want to say. And people talk about what fall from head as fall as shoulder. I wish that was my case, because I had him when I was 20, and he ain't showed me none yet. So what really fall from shoulder? Don't Head don't always fall on shoulder, which is good and bad. But he normally introduced me to people that he's talking to, and that's a good way, because first of all, I know that he likes the opposite sex. Introduction helps you to know that. And then, secondly, after a conversation with a young lady, I know as a father can ask him some direct questions. Now, what do you do for the lady? What does she do for you? Where do you go? How are you doing with these conversations about sex? I mean, do you know how to open doors? Do you know what to do to add value to her? Is she adding value to you? And I could talk to him about those things that I missed when I was growing up, that I was young and wild and stupid. So I like it when the introduction is done. It don't have to always be that I'm serious about this person, but Dad, let me introduce you to this person I'm talking to, right? And because he knows that I'm inquisitive, I'm investigative, I might very well ask her a couple of questions. So how's my son doing? And she could, depend on what she says, I would know if he needs some improvement, sharpening his skills. Iron sharpens iron, right? And so introduction, like you said, it don't have to be everybody. And still, we don't need to be judgmental, even with the introduction, but introduce anyway, so at least we know that your child or whoever likes the opposite sex. All right, that's one good thing to know that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, DJ Quinn. Listen, I really want to, I'm going to go to Apostle and Drayton. I want to hear a little bit more from Drayton. I didn't hear much from Drayton this afternoon. I really want to hear some more from him. I'm going to make my point when I come back. Apostle.
So blessings. I think Apostle Brother Quinn really challenged me there just now to talk from the church space, from the Christian perspective. So I want to give a principle that I apply to my life and relationships. I believe time is the filter that God uses to separate excitement from truth. sometimes the reality of people gets lost in the excitement of meeting them, and the girl look good and she cute and she wish you nice here herself and boom 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 and all of that. um Christ spoke to deception. We are living in an age where deception is the order of the day. We have the technology, we
Come
have the
on, Apostle.
resources.
Please repeat that again for us one more time.
We are living in an age where deception is the order of the day.
Thank you.
People, we have the resources, like for example, and this, let me put a disclaimer, this is not to those who are using things to enhance themselves. You know, we are called to beautify ourselves. God says he gives us beauty for ashes and all of that. But I'm talking about people who are intentional about hiding their reality because there are things that are there that they do not want others to be aware of. Now, Christ really addressed this, and this applies to not only the boy-girl relationship, but I want to read that, if I may. It is in Matthew chapter 7, verse 15, and he says something very powerful. He says, beware of false prophets. And I want to say this: whenever you are going to address something that is counterfeit, you cannot have a counterfeit without not first having the original. So never be imbalanced with yourself. You know, don't say things like, man ain't good. They have to be a good man for you, not for you to know what is a bad one. You know, them East Coast gal ain't good. No. Calm yourself down. They got good East Coast gal. Know what you're doing. If your name Drayton, know that they got good East Coast gal. But anyway, I might be putting myself in some trouble right there. It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. So people come to you a lot of times with clothes that covers their drama. So let me break this principle down. He goes on and he's talking about deception. But he says something powerful. He says, he shall know them by their fruits. Now, if you take that from face value, it can sound like somebody saying, you shall know them by what you see them do. But it is saying more. Fruit speaks to results that happens over time. You didn't know, you didn't get that. I know. You didn't get that. Let me say that. You see, when we read that traditionally, we heard, when I look at them, I'm going to see, or they, no. Fruit takes time. So he is now giving you the solution to deceivers in your life. He says, if you give them enough time, you're going to see the fruit that tree carries. For some people, they need a year. Because, boy. For some people, we can't carry you in 2 weeks because that fruit can't manifest in 2 weeks. You're still a seed. You didn't hear that? Let me say that. So sister, like, oh, he goes to church.
We're hearing you, Apostle. We're hearing you.
We have to see his fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see fruit right away. You see fruit with time. I want to say this, and this is not advice that came from your granny. This came from Yeshua. Time will clear the noise of deception like nothing you know. Let me say this again. Someone type this. Somebody say this. Time will clear the noise, the blur, the clouds of deception like nothing you know. There are people, if they had only waited 1 more week, they would have called off that wedding. And so for those who say prayer, I like the idea, but you know, the problem I got with prayer is that there are some people who think prayer is the answer to everything. The Bible talks about a lot of other things other than prayer. I know a lot of people who pray and did some foolish things. I am one of them. I'm messing with the church people a little. By the way, the Christian community is not doing very well with their marriages. So that is just something to take note, because there are principles that applies to different things. Prayer might just be one of the realities that leads to a good relationship. It's not the only. If you can't make love to your wife properly, my brother, she's going to pray for another husband. Prayer would work negatively for you. I just,
Because she's
I'm just,
first,
I'm
she's
just, I'm just
first
messing with
human.
you. I'm just
You know
messing.
what? And Apostle,
I'm
you
just,
know,
Amen. Amen.
amen to that. Because at the end of the day, she's first human. She's a human being. She have feelings. So you hit the hammer right there. I love
but
the
but
fact
but
that
you,
you said it.
but Sister Gigi, seriously, this I say, and this I feel like this that the Spirit of the Lord is saying to someone: if you cannot slow down, you might be hiding something. Because if we're supposed listen, if someone cannot be in your future, they should never be introduced to your present. And
Yes.
if you are going to be in my future, why the rush? You're gonna be
Come on
around
now.
for a little while. What are you rushing for? Let's wait. I'm done, man. I'm done. Them brothers gonna vex
That
with me
is
because
it.
I talking too much. I'm done.
No. You're dropping some nuggets. I love it. How you do this? Do it, Leslie? Do this? Do you?
No, we
That's
ain't
it.
doing that.
Yes.
Otis, let me keep out of that, brother. Otis, let me keep out of that. Let me
I'm
keep out of that.
observing. I'm observing.
Yes.
Listen, don't ever keep out of women what they're doing. Always try to be a part and know exactly, because you might
Okay.
be planning and you don't know what it is. Be a part of
Okay.
it. I ain't
That
keeping
is
out.
it. Oh
No,
my
this is just in
goodness.
agreement
Listen.
with everything you said. Everything you
Yes,
Okay.
said,
yes,
yes.
yes,
Listen,
This is
listen,
like
Leslie.
an
listen.
applause.
Knocking the
Yes,
tea. Knocking the
yes,
tea.
yes, Apostle, yes.
Look,
All of
look
Yes.
it.
where y'all getting,
Yes,
man. I got
all
him,
of
boy.
Listen, I want to highlight a comment from Melissa G. Charles, but I don't think I would have ever seen her before. I don't know if this is her first time. She can indicate to us if this is the first time that she's on the G show. If so be the case, we want to welcome you. There are some women who are fully aware that it is only bedroom relationship, but hope their activities will change the individual. Drayton,
Shot.
Drayton, Drayton. I want to hear Drayton on this one. Where is he? Where is Drayton? We want to hear Drayton. Anyway, if I ain't hearing from Drayton, I'm going to go to, I want to hear from Winston. And then I'm going to go to DJ Quinn.
That topic for Miss Melissa, it is a fact. Guys, I'm not throwing y'all down or up or wrong anything, but listen,
Watch your mouth.
there is some areas that you just want to dip, because it's like you look at it, like I used the word HIT earlier. There is some area you just want to hit because hey, they're looking good, by what I mean, and take a little slice, you know what I mean? So it is a fact. And there's sometimes now the individual might thinking, well, she want a permanent or a long time relationship, and the guy at first, I think Leslie mentioned that earlier, he just not into no long time relationship. And women could swear, women could swear at times. When the swear come in there, the swear does come in useful at times, the swear does help. But it's not good at all times. Yeah.
Thank you so much. But I like to listen to these men because when men say certain things, I listen and I put it to the back of my head. I tell them I got brains like an elephant. Let me tell you something. I want to go to DJ Quinn because DJ Quinn, I want you to expound on that same comment also. What do you think about what's her name? I don't remember the name. What she said. DJ Quinn.
Melissa Charles.
Melissa Charles. Miss Charles. Sorry to addressing you. What's her name? I apologize. Miss Charles. If you're here for the first time once again, welcome. DJ Quinn.
I was trying to see which is the comment that she said.
It
to
was a
really,
long time ago. Was up in the
okay.
comments, so
There
you
are
might
some
find
women
it.
who are fully aware that it's only bedroom relationship, but hope their activities will change the individual. Well, since you asked me, let me expound on it because we could be mud diggers, but if we find a woman who is interested in us, we can clean ourselves up and become real wonderful men. We have some women who really are nurturers, who really add value to us men, and they can dig you out from under an ant's nest and really, really, really establish you. And they got some who, even when they take you, they can bring you down back, But it all depends on, a lot of different things. So it's good and bad. But what I'm saying is, when I say she's hoping, and that's a good place to start. Hope keeps you alive. Hope makes you work on some things. Hope makes you look some more. Hope make you conduct yourself in a certain way, right? And so when you in a relationship and you hoping this guy see you for who you are, perhaps you'll be genuine in your character. Perhaps you'll be true to yourself. Perhaps you'll have good conversations, right? Perhaps you will, you know, try to make a good relationship with those people you introduce you to. Some folks, it make no sense to introduce them to a family member or tell them this is my girl because they have no time with keeping that relationship going. What do you think is the reason why you introduced a family member? So you can keep up a relationship, so they can see that this girl mean business. This girl is a good hope for this young man, right? He might not have the education like her, but guess what? She can. Well, one time I heard this stuff that a woman could drag you up in society. Women can do that. Some women, go develop themselves faster than us, man. We work, 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 and we don't do school, school, school a whole lot. And so that hope that she have that is because she's seen some potential in the young man, and she's hoping that by conducting herself or showing him a way, it's just like we do with the kids in school. We show them a career path, and hope that they choose it and become better productive citizens. So maybe a woman can be that one to put the fire under your feet, to pull you up in society, to make you realize that, look, man, we can have a good relationship. I like your family. I like you. I see your potential. And if you allow me to help you, I believe my hope can be eventualized. So hope is a good place to start from. I believe that, Melissa's got a good plan. Melissa, talking about something, I know she's the one who really, some women, maybe some people, Melissa might be talking about herself. She said some women who are fully aware that it's only bedroom. I'm gonna tell you something. When you believe it's only bedroom that the man might want from you, you might be shocked to realize that he see you more than just bedroom talk or bedroom acts, because you possess some characteristics, some good values that he has that same hope that you have to go to the next level. So introduce them. Don't wait for 90 days, like Steve Harvey say. Don't wait for 90 days and all that stuff. 3 4 days, introduce and let the conversation start. Let hope stay alive. Okay, Melissa? Yeah, some women know that, but let's keep hope alive.
Thank you so much, DJ Quinn. And let me remind you guys again that we are on Praise Radio 592, and we'll be also streaming on Caribbean Power Jam Radio on Mondays, from 4 to 6 p.m. So join the conversation. I want to say quickly that, I have so much respect for my mom. And DJ Quinn was over at my house 2 Sundays ago. And we were having a conversation, and we were talking about the fact that, you have to be my mom is a no nonsense person. We've got to be very careful who we bring to her. If you bring somebody to my mother, let's take, for instance, a family member of ours, have his wife to the house, brought the wife to the house, but then he was bringing another lady. And I don't know if DJ can remember that conversation. Listen. And when he brought the woman, mom, he said, listen to me, do not bring another woman here but your wife. Don't do it. Your wife, and she's a woman that stood for the right things and for righteousness. And I have to applaud her for that. So I want to go also to, I don't know if Leslie. Leslie wants to chip in, and then we're going to go to a very short ad break and come back, and then we're going to close the show. Guys, the phone lines are still open. The number is 516-601-8510. Call us, and let's hear what you have to say.
Call me now. Call me now.
Yeah. Yes,
Melissa, we're not responsible for nobody change. We don't sit around waiting for nobody to change. Don't do that to yourself. Know your worth. We are not responsible for when anybody decide this is when I can decide to change. Okay, this is the woman that I can change. No, they have to do that on their own. You don't want to be helping nobody change. Don't do that to yourself. All right? Don't, and like you said, some women don't know it's bedroom activities and they're still going for it. That's okay. Some people can do that. But don't go into a relationship with somebody, even though you know that they just want bedroom activities, and expecting to be carried home and expecting to get carried home to be introduced and that kind of stuff. Because you're going in with the wrong mentality. Like the apostle said, everything takes time. A guinea don't get ripe right away, even though it's green outside when it's ripe. But it still needs some time to get that nice juicy flavor. It needs to get ripe. Every fruit needs to get ripe. Don't rush to get carried home because, you know, you get carried home. Next, you know, you carry home into a whole toxic house. Yes, Gigi, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Leslie. We do have a caller online. I'm going to put through that. Go right ahead.
Good evening, guys. How are y'all doing?
Good.
All right.
Good evening.
Very interesting topic, very interesting conversation. And thank you. By the way, DJ Quinn, I want to know which one of the seasons you like first. And I think, I believe you're helping us as men with a lot you were saying. So I feel like you're holding back from us here tonight. So help us a little bit, Apostle. Help us.
Mm-hmm.
But, by the way, but you know, I'm really loving this conversation here tonight. But I asked a question. You know, what if you introduce that person to your family, right? Your family does not like that person, or the family does not accept that person, but you feel within yourself that this is what you want. How do you move forward from here? And I'll let somebody try that. How do you move forward? Because at the end of the day, I believe, in spite whether or not your family agree, you're the person who's going to have to live that individual for the rest of your life.
Oh, good.
So,
very good question. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let's delve into that. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Listen, so you heard it.
Can I answer my question? Can I answer my
Go right
question,
ahead.
please?
All right, answer your question.
Okay, I like this kind of weather where it's a little hot and a little cold, right down in the middle, you know, because today you might wear nice two-neck clothing, ladies, right, with nice black, and then tomorrow you might wear, you know, some nice cotton, some nice linen. I like this kind of weather, ladies. So in between, you know, half and half. So yeah, I don't like deep weather, deep winter. No, I don't like the hot sun summer because I listen. I am not fully saved like Apostle. So when I'm gonna go around by the beach and see all that stuff that you know you mess a man's minds up. So I like it now where we wear some things, you know, half and half, like less than, let me see, less than, like that, you know. So I gotta speak for the gentlemen. I know a lot of them want to say, but I know why they're not coming out and help me. Y'all trying to make me go back into my old self. I left that a long time, but I like this kind of weather. Yesterday was kind of cold. Today is kind of warm. So you never know. So you have to dress a certain way because you never know how cold it's going to get later on. If you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Hello, where the men are? Y'all leaving DJ Quinn alone to swim in this water. Y'all got to come and save y'all, brother. Come on. Where the men are? We have two other men on the panel, along with Mr.
So
Drayton.
I am going to say this. Wisdom always listens, but it's the leader who makes the decision. Sometimes you have to listen to your family because they are not emotionally involved a lot of times. Let's begin to talk about your legacy, your family legacy. This conversation is so big, it's not even funny. Lots of people are choosing partners to bring to family. And if you bring in family, that means you have to have a conversation about legacy. So let me take off this to say this. If I am training my daughter to carry on a family legacy, then in you must look like someone carry the quality that can help support that legacy. I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave this alone. Have you waited long enough that you're not naive and blinded by your emotions about the person? Because sometimes you are too emotionally involved to have a proper conversation with your family about that person. And I'm going to tell you quickly, guys, from my experience. A lot of people do not know how much they have not solidified their leadership when it comes to their personal lives. If you have had people speaking into your life forever, you can't just decide now that you don't want them to speak. People give say, your mother has always made decisions for you, your father made decisions for you, everybody made decisions for you. So when they kind of see someone that they don't agree with, you will have to do what you call data verification. You will have to look at what they are saying based on the accuracy of it and the accuracy with the person that you're with. But I'll be straight with you. Some of us, we like lie to ourselves, because we say things like people does change. You want the man bad, right? And what your mother saying is true, but here was your problem. You got a little problem because you were heavily invested in the man changing. Let me say this, and I close with this. When it comes to your partner and bringing them to your family, choosing somebody for your future, your emotions need to take a second seat to wisdom. Wisdom, data, verified information is important. And so when they say they don't like the person, have a conversation with them. Listen. They might be seeing something you're not seeing. And sometimes you sell the person wrong too. But there's so much things. But that is what I would like to say, that at the end of the day, to be wise, you listen. But as the leader, the decision is up to you, that this is who I have to live with. But they have a say if you bring them to the family, because the family has a legacy to protect, or should have a legacy to protect. But I'm done there. That's what I'd like to answer to the brother. I think it's a brother that spoke just now.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Apostle. So listen, guys. Now
If you can allow me, Trudy, I was making my way back in, and I listened to the brother question, and I could identify. And one thing about the Gigi show is that we just always create an atmosphere
We're sharing experience, strength, and hope is significant. And that is why I just like being a part of this show. So the brother is really simply just asking, look, if I bring somebody home and the family don't approve, what happen? Right? And it's a real situation and it's not an easy one because as a man, you're just standing between two worlds with the people who raise you and the people you are about to choose. And it is never an easy place to stand. But I
True.
can tell you something.
Mhm.
Take it from me. If your family raise certain significant points with you, don't ignore it. Why? Because just listen. The family want control your life, It is just that a man like me and you might be too emotionally invested in certain things to notice. It's not no big farmer disrespect or them in like it is just that perhaps you and I are too emotionally invested in certain things for notice it. So what we just do, we gotta listen. We gotta take it in. We gotta do the introspection. We gotta do the assessment. We gotta separate what valid from what is just people opinion or what's biasness. That is what we gotta do. But at the same time, make no mistakes about this. At the same time, as a man, you gotta stand on your own judgment. Cause it's we the one in the relationship, you know? It's we building the future. It's I there with this woman, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So you can't live your life trying to please everybody. What matters is this. Are the concern with the family raising got any type of valid concept in your mind? Is it about characters? Is it about the value and the behavior of this woman? Eh? Or is it just about how it look and preferences and some level of comfort? Because those things are two different things. I don't care how me mother see me woman. But if me mother could take a shot at your character, it's a whole different thing. And I want people to recognize and understand. It's not a simple question the brother asks because it is a real, real thing. So the truth is, if the family raise it and it is about character, the means thing like disrespect and instability and dishonest and these type of thing, you as a man, me as a man, we gotta take it serious. Why? Because we don't defend things that isn't supposed to be defended. That's straight up as it is. And make no mistakes about it. No apologies either. That is standing firm. But if it is not that, if it is just that they don't like this woman or they don't like the girl for whatever person, and it doesn't fit because it don't fit their expectations. I mean, you can listen respectfully, but you don't know exactly what the position is. So you create boundaries, man. You deal with this thing assertively. You create boundaries. You don't allow disrespect towards your partner, and you don't allow your partner for disrespect you or your family. We know the basics and the boundaries, and this is how I would approach the situation with the brother asks, you know. But then, if he is a Guyanese man from Georgetown, then the whole story change and nothing what I just sung down there invalid because if you're living in Georgetown,
And not from the East Coast.
right, and you don't know how to talk, you should know. And the women them too, the family members, the mothers and the fathers from Georgetown who listening right now, who recognize and understand that for the past hour, so them in really catches what's going on because if somebody coming for your daughter for the first time for carry out and they come by you, you're running outside for see who carry and shit. You waiting for nobody, introduce nobody and them kind of thing. This is the times we living in, and this is how I know it to be. Them in waiting is who carrying you out, girl. I go and see. Don't tell me I can't go and see. Girl, look, lose me like go and see is who carrying you out. Yeah, I know some brothers in Tiger Bay crew with the thing, you kind of the sister, but you best come straight with their talk to them and beg if it's necessary, right? But on a serious note, the question the brother asks is a serious one. It's not nothing to ignore. And thanks for your contribution, sir.
Thank you so much. Guys, we are like almost time sort of wrapping up of the show. We just have like about 3 minutes remaining. But before we go to a closing, Kendra, I know you want to make a point. I'm going to let you make your point and do your closing also. Then I'm going to come to the others. Okay, go right ahead.
Yes, I want to piggyback on what Drayton said, but I want to ensure I stick this in. If your family is expressing disapproval of your partner, significant other, fiancé, whatever title you're attaching to it, for me, I feel it's testing the quality of your relationship, because it will tell you, if you know that this is the person for you, you're courting this person all the time, and this person have the qualities and the goals, and you all have the same objectives and these kinds of things, even though sometimes you might be blinded by maybe the love and the infatuation, all these fancy things that are going on, when they point out whatever infringements or so on that they see, you should be able to defend that relationship, whether it's someone's past, whether it's what's going on now, what they know about the person, and that kind of stuff. It is testing the quality of the relationship. It's testing the ground on which the relationship stands. So that's just my take, and my closing will be that that in relationship, the time for introduction based on the relationship maturity, based on the two persons involved, is no specific time frame, because what time frame might be good for you might not be good for me.
All right, thank you so much, Kendra. Listen, quickly, I want to squeeze in a call quickly, guys. Let's hear from this caller. Go right ahead.
Pleasant good afternoon. This is DJ GQ checking in. Great point from the apostle, my classmate, always brings some valid points. GG, thumbs up. You know, we need more of these shows in the community, because we have a lot of young kids that don't know about relationship. A lot of young people, because they want to get in the cookie jar, they're quick to bring somebody to their parents' house. A lot of guys quick to go to the parents' house because they want to get in the cookie jar. It's not about what's in the cookie jar. It's about stability. How far are you willing to go? It's not just for this moment. But I don't want to take up your time. But it's a powerful topic, and I'm going to stay tuned. Gotti, pick up yourself.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. And listen, tune in again next week for another great topic. So thank you. All right. Thank you once again for your contribution. All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So listen, you see the conversation now getting a little sweeter, but you know, we gotta do our closing. But I want to go to Leslyn as she gives her closing. Then I'm going to go to DJ Quinn, and so on. Go right ahead. Listen.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Please remember to subscribe to our channel. We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Share this live. Get involved in the conversations. Like, when do you think it's time? The comments that you guys left for us, they were amazing comments. There was so much to choose from. But thank you for your contribution. And I think that you should protect your peace and your children. I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to keep saying that. Protect your peace and your children. You don't have to rush into every relationship that comes your way, especially if you have children involved. They have some people fall in love and get married in 2 months, and hey, that's it. And it lasts because, you know, your soulmate is out there. But that might not be you. Just because it's happened for somebody else doesn't mean it will happen for you. I mean that you keep checking to see, oh, maybe this one's my soulmate. No, the next one is my soulmate. No, the next one is my soulmate. Next one is my soulmate. And you become, you know, you belong to the pasture this time. So protect your peace, protect your children. Take time to heal from that relationship before you jump into the next one. You don't have to take everybody home as soon as you meet them. Because your family might tell you something that you don't like, and then you got to break up with the person, or you got to keep the person and you don't want nothing to do with the family. So sometimes it's not a win-win situation. So thank you for joining us. And I do hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Easter, especially those of you who went to Guyana for Easter. Have a wonderful time. Stay safe, and see you guys next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lady Leslyn. Guys, that's Lady and Leslie Bob Sample, and thank you for your contribution always on the Gigi show. I'm gonna go to DJ Quinn, and then I'm gonna go to Otis, and then I want to go to Apostle and hear what's his closing. Go right ahead, guys.
I was going to drop my comment in the box because I think we over time, but let me remind folks that this broadcast will be aired on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.wffrsunshineradio.com. Audio only. So if you missed it, those of you who are now coming on in, you can hear it back on www.wffrsunshineradio.com, 6 p.m. Eastern. Every Wednesday we do a rebroadcast. But my little 2 cents on this, my closing: introduce your significant other when you to your relatives when the relationship has, and I heard it, enough substance, stability, respect, and peace to stand in front of people who know you best. When it has that stability, respect, and peace to stand in front of the people who know you best. We talk about a person being a fake. You do not be a fake and try to introduce your significant other to your real families. Be mindful of that. Okay? So stand on your 2 feet, gentlemen. Have substance, stability, respect, and have a good peace to stand in front of the people who know you best and who possibly love you too. Thank you so much. Happy Easter to all of you.
Thank you once again, DJ Quinn. Otis.
Yeah, good afternoon. Once again, I want to say thank you to each and every one that tuned in this afternoon and keep sharing this program. As you know, we are bringing awareness and we have various topics, and this afternoon was very interesting. And I want to say thank you all, and tune in again next Saturday at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Otis. I'm going to go to Apostle. Last and closing this evening.
Grace and peace, everyone. It's been a pleasure to be here. It's always nice to be here with everyone. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14, where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. I believe that every major decision that one would make around and about their life should be done in the world of conversation. I believe isolation gets us into a lot of emotions, a lot of wacky thinking. But when we are in the world of conversation, in a multitude of counselors, there is safety. And I don't think you should be making any major decisions without not having conversations in the communities that you're a part of. That's where you have your coach, your pastor, your good friend, people who are not emotionally involved like yourself, like people who are able to give you other sides, bring other realities to your attention. And so such an important thing like choosing a partner and then taking them to your family should not be taken lightly. I would suggest that by the time it gets to family, you should have some very important data already clear. So you turn up there like a businessman ready to sell you a product. So be blessed with yourself. Do well, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Grace and peace to you.
Thanks
for
so much,
being-
Apostle.
Your blessings.
Thank you so much, Apostle, once again for always gracing us here with your presence. And of course, always teaching us and giving us some knowledge on all these different topics. And of course, we would like to invite you once again. And before I go, let me say it to you guys. It's very important to know who you're bringing. Get to know your partner before you bring them around your family, especially your children. Like, take for instance, I have one son, and I would not want to say to my son that this is my significant other, not unless I am sure, 100% sure that this is the person that I want to spend my life with. Because I don't, remember, he's watching me, and he's learning from me also. And my son, he came to me. He just had a baby, and he came to me and said, "Mommy, my girlfriend is pregnant." Well, of course, you have no mom. You're gonna drive into the mood, and doing what is right. But then I said to him, I said, "Is this what you want?" He said to me, he said, "Mom, there's out of this relationship, there's nothing else out there. And I think I've made my choice. I've made my pick. She was introduced to me, and I accept because that's what he wants. And he has made his decision. This is the person that he wants to spend the rest of his life with. So I'm encouraging persons, especially parents, help your children to make the right decision and the guidance. Give them the guidance that they need. All right, especially the younger ones who are coming now. All right, so thank you guys once again. But before we go, let me let you know our topic for next week. I know this is a very, very serious topic and very serious situation that's happening in our community, especially in Guyana. So our topic for next week is when in the line of duty, when is necessary to consider excessive force in handling a matter. Especially, when it comes to all the police brutality and everything that's been happening, it's like it's a trend. Something is starting back again. We want to discuss that next week. So guys, invite someone to come in and be a part of this conversation as we delve into this. So once again, I want to say thanks to each and everyone that has joined us. And once again, let me remind you, our celebrated person for today is no other than Miss Onika Grant, and she is our celebrated person on the Gigi Show today. I want to say thank you guys for joining us. Do join us again next week, Saturday at 5 p.m. for another episode of the Gigi Show. And don't forget, on Wednesday at 6 p.m., WFFR Sunshine Radio, we'll be doing that replay, and we'll be also on Caribbean Power Jam Radio on Monday from 4 to 6 p.m. And guys, we are streaming live also on Praise 592 Radio. So guys, have yourself a wonderful rest of the evening. Be blessed. Happy Easter. Be safe. Fly those kites in an open space and have yourself a good weekend. Much love to you. On behalf of myself and my team, enjoy your rest of the evening. Bye-bye.
Life doesn't always go as planned. There was a time when everything felt lost. No home, no direction, no certainty about tomorrow. But even in the middle of the storm, purpose was being born. This is more than a story. It is a journey of rising after the fall. From homelessness to hope. From struggle to strength. Purpose in the storm.